Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa sallallahu sallam wa barak ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in amma ba'd. How was it? Good? Alhamdulillah. Imam al-Bukhari, rahimahullah, he says, Kitab al-Eidain, the book of the two Eids. The book of the two Eids. Meaning, in this book, I'm going to mention a chosen selection of prophetic narrations regarding some of the rulings, some of the issues, and some of the manners, and a few pieces of the etiquette of the two Eids. It's going to mention not all the hadith that are authentic, but a selected few that he chose to place into his book. And he chose to organize and arrange strategically that deal with some of the rulings, halal, haram, obligatory, disliked, wajib, some of the masail, when was the Eid legislated, how, so on and so forth, some of the adab, things that you should do, virtues and excellent merits of the Eid, some of the etiquette of the two Eids, Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr. That's what's meant by Kitab al-Eidain. The first chapter, it says, Babun fil Eidain wa tajammuli fihi. He says concerning the two Eids and concerning adornment and beautification, ornamentation, beautifying, adorning, and ornamenting yourself, making yourself look handsome, pretty, presentable, looking fly, dressing up for the Eid, smelling good, looking good, making yourself presentable, and much more during the two Eids. And he doesn't say the ruling of this, the recommendation of it, it's obligatory, but he leaves it flat, just like that. Regarding making tajammul, making yourself jamil, or making yourself in jamila for the two Eids. Then he quotes his isnad. He says, حدثنا أبو اليمان قال أخبرنا شعيب عن الزهري قال أخبرني سالم بن عبد الله أن عبد الله بن عمر رضي الله تعالى عنهما قال. He gives you his isnad, his chain of report, chain of narrators, chain of men from whom he heard the report, they trace it back to the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam. And the first of them, he says, Abu al-Yaman. That's not his name, that's his kunya, Abu al-Yaman. And Abu al-Yaman is a narrator that Imam al-Bukhari has reported from in his book here frequently. You find many chains of narration from Abu al-Yaman. What is actually his name? And how do we know which Abu al-Yaman is it? Is there another person with this name? That's from the sciences of ilm al-hadith. And what you know who's who in the chain of narration just with a kunya, or just with a first name such as Muhammad or Ali. Naam. Or you may know who it is even if it just says rajul, a man, or a woman. How do you know this? Is there some type of magic or sorcery, some type of hidden code knowledge that you have? No. You know through tangible science. Who is the sheikh and who is the tilmeed and the isnad? Who's the companion? What's the hadith about? From what country are the narrators from, etc. That's all from mabahith al-isnad and the lata'if of the isnad. All of that's from ilm al-hadith. And once you learn that science and you dig deep into that science and spend many years out of your life and sacrifice a great deal of your time and youth in that science, then you have, bid'inillah ta'ala, a key. And you know things that the ordinary person doesn't know. And you realize things that the ordinary student of knowledge or scholar doesn't realize, who doesn't specialize in ilm al-hadith. Let alone the different levels of ilm al-hadith and the different subgenres. And that's why some of the ulama of Islam, such as Abu Hatim or Abu Zur'a al-Razi, they would say, إنكارنا للحديث عند العوامي أو عند الجهال كهانة. They would say, when we reject the hadith and we say that's not sahih, we debase it, it's not from the Prophet ﷺ's speech, the general people or the layman people or those who aren't specialists that say this is some type of magic or sorcery, some type of divination. What do you mean? Fulan reported it. It sounds good. It looks good. What do you mean it's not sahih? Not meaning that they sought the help of the jinn or they knew the unseen, but they had devoted their lives to it for years. And they were skilled and they were talented. And Allah Azza wa Jalla gave them a sharp sense, a sixth sense, a third eye, intuition, based off of tangible, mundane knowledge. Until the only thing they had to do was see it or hear it. And they said, no, the Prophet never said that. It's da'if, it's weak, it's made up, a mistake, so on and so forth. And they also say by Yahya ibn Sa'id al-Qattan, rahimahullah, they said, كَانَ إِلْمُهُ بِالْحَدِيثِ كَالسِّحْرِ. They said his man was like a wizard when it came to the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. And it's going to only be done with a great deal of tawfiq from Allah and a great deal of barakah that Allah gives you and a great deal of time, effort, and energy that you spend studying it and learning it from its proper sources. So he reports from Abu al-Yaman. That's not his name. That's just his kunya. Abu Muhammad. That's not your name. Abu al-Yaman in Sahih Bukhari, 9 out of 10 times, his sheikh is going to be Shu'aib. Who is Shu'aib? Where does he come from? How popular is the name Shu'aib? How many Shu'aibs are there? Those who study Sahih Bukhari and know the Asanid, they know exactly who Shu'aib is. To the T. With yaqeen. This is Shu'aib ibn Abi Hamza al-Himsi. And Shu'aib narrates from who? In general, let alone in Sahih Bukhari. Imam al-Bukhari, he says here, an al-Zuhri. He narrates from a man whose name is al-Zuhri. That's not a name. That's an inscription. Is it an inscription to a tribe or a clan or a city or a town? Who is he? What's his grade? That's known to students of hadith. So, if you understand this and memorize this, you can read 100, 1,000 hadiths in Sahih Bukhari just with this chain of narration. Abu al-Yaman, Shu'aib, Zuhri. And then outside of Sahih Bukhari, you can also benefit from that chain and its authenticity. Then Az-Zuhri rahimahullah, he narrates in Sahih Bukhari and other books from someone 9 out of 10 times as well. And he says, Akhbarani Salim ibn Abdullah. Now the name is actually given. Zuhri isn't a name. Shu'aib is a name. Abu al-Yaman isn't a name. But Salim, and then the father's name. Salim, the son of Abdullah. And that is Ibn Umar, radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma. So Zuhri is from the Tabi'een, and so is Salim. They're both students of the companions, from the Salaf al-Salih. Salim, the son of Abdullah, he narrated from a man whose name, he says, Abdullah ibn Umar, the companion. And Abdullah ibn Umar narrated from someone else. So this is just the isnad, half of the hadith. There's the matan, and then there's the isnad. The chain of report, and then there's the actual report itself. Everyone understand this? So, from the sciences of the hadith, is actually called Lata'if al-Isnad. Subtleties and intricacies of the chain. The first subtlety is that we have a tabi'i narrating from another tabi'i. And we also have a companion narrating or reporting a story from another companion. And we also have riwayatul abna'i an al-aba, the narration of sons from their fathers. Because Ibn Umar is going to narrate from the matan. It says now, in Bukhari he says, أخذ عمر جبة من استبرق تباع في السوق فأخذها فأتى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال يا رسول الله. Ibn Umar narrates that Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, one day he purchased a silken robe or cloak or mantle, a piece of clothing for men that was made out of silk, and a specific type of silk, min istabarak, as is mentioned in the Quran al-Kareem. There are different types of silk, thick silk, thin silk, different grades and different levels of silk that have been mentioned in the Quran. So Umar radiallahu anhu, he purchased this mantle from the marketplace. So he got it and he went to the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam. It then says here, he says, فَقَالَ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ, O Messenger of Allah, ابتع هذه تجمل بها للعيد والوفود. فقال له رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إنما هذه لباس من لا خلاق له. فلبث عمر ما شاء الله أن يلبثه. ثم أرسل إليه رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بجبة ديباج. فأقبل بها عمر فأتى بها رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال يا رسول الله إنك قلت إنما هذه لباس من لا خلاق له وأرسلت إلي بهذه الجبة. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم تبيعها أو تصيب بها حاجتك. It then says here, So Umar radiallahu anhu, he went to the Messenger of Allah and said, take this, get this. تَجَمَّلْ بِهَا لِلْعِيدِ وَالْوُفُودِ. He says, O Messenger of Allah, you can take this silk garment and you can wear it to beautify yourself and to adorn yourself for the Eids and for when delegations come to you and emissaries come to you. When the people of the mushrikeen come to declare their Islam and to give you the bay'ah, this representative from this clan and from this tribe, they come to you declaring that they are Muslims or to ask about Islam. Wear it to look nice in front of them. Now, the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam, he says, the only people who wear these types of clothes are those that have nothing, meaning in the hereafter. The only people who wear this type of jacket or mantle or cloak is for someone who has nothing, meaning in the hereafter. Meaning that it's haram for men to wear pure silk. It's haram for men to wear pure silk. So if a man wore this silk garment or the silken garment, it will mean that hereafter he will be punished. And he won't have nothing of the silk of Jannah. Everybody clear on this? Afterwards, Umar radiallahu anhu, he left the situation alone. Tayyib. And they parted, and that's it. Then all of a sudden, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he sent a gift to Umar. And that was a mantle, a jubbah, some type of robe or overcoat that was made out of dibaj. And dibaj is another type of silk. There's a difference between istabrak, dibaj. He sent him something that was silk. So he said, "Oh, Messenger of Allah, didn't you tell me that those who wear this will have nothing? They will have nothing in the hereafter. Didn't you say this? Now you send it to me? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up." The Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wasalam, he said, you can sell it or you can profit from it. You can gain some money, gain some profit, and then you can buy some things, purchase some things that you need. And that's the end of the hadith. So the main point from the hadith and the highlighting point from the hadith is what? Where? Where do we find the main point from this hadith?
To beautify
yourself for the Eids. Ahsant. Umar radiallahu anhu asked the Messenger of Allah to take it to look nice, presentable, and handsome for the Eids. And the Prophet ﷺ, there's all the words of the Prophet, but the Prophet never what? He never denied it or rejected it. But the only problem that the Prophet ﷺ had was that it was made out of silk. Men are not to wear what? Pure silk in al-Islam. That's the mahallu shahid. That's the mahallu dilala. That's the highlighting point from the hadith. That's the fiqh of the hadith. That one line is connected to the chapter, connected to the book. And now how Imam al-Bukhari thought that was his fiqh. Precise. Are we clear on this or not? So this proves is that it's generally a good thing, a recommended thing to look what? Nice for the Eid. Everybody understand this? That's what we take from this hadith. As far as the specific rulings, then of course you can't wear something that's haram, like this hadith shows us. You can't do something which is haram, like shave your face. Or a woman go outside with perfume on and makeup all over her face is uncovered, and henna all over her hands and her fingernails and fingernail polish, or permeable, breathable, salable fingernail polish for wudu, etc. Gold bracelets and watches and rings and things like this in which you're showing your zina to men that aren't your mahram. Or you wear sandals with your toes out and your toes are painted. That's haram. Or to wear tight clothes that reveal your body structure and figure. That's haram. Or flirt with men that aren't your mahrams. Or flirting in general is haram. Or to switch. Shaykh ibn Baz rahimahullah says for a woman to switch outside is tabarruj. It's tabarruj. Even if she's covered properly. Even if she has on all black, she's wearing an abaya. If she's switching and walking in a sassy manner, he says that's tabarruj as well. Wahakadha, etc. What's important is that you don't wear that which is haram on the Eid. You wear that which is lawful, permissible, and the best that you can. Whether it's brand new or whether it's out of the closet. Don't look sloppy on the Eid. Look nice, look presentable. That's the ruling here. Everybody clear this or not? And this is from the recommended acts of the Eid. Everybody clear this or not? Along with other things. Tayyib. As far as the side benefits of this hadith, the first and foremost, this hadith shows the permissibility for a man to shop. It's not haram for a man to shop. Nor is it necessarily a dislike thing for someone to go to the marketplace. As Allah mentions in the Quran. about the messengers, the messenger himself and the previous messengers, walking in the marketplace. Then obviously, the scholars of Islam, they say that a student of knowledge, a scholar, a learned person shouldn't always be in the marketplace. Every single day, all day, walking around, lollygagging and jonesing in the marketplace because of the Prophet ﷺ's words. Ahabbul biqa ilallahi, that the best places, the most beloved places to Allah are the masjids. And the worst places to Allah are the marketplaces. People, they swear abundantly, they disrespect Allah's name, they curse in the marketplace, they backbite, they lie, they exaggerate about products, they look at women, women look at men, people flirt, put on perfume. How does this look on me? In the marketplace, a man, he lowers his guard. It looks very good on you. Come and look in the mirror. This is a reality. He sprays the perfume on her. Oh, this is nice. Yes, these things happen in the marketplace. People don't pray, and the list goes on of things that take place in the where? In the marketplace. It's not haram to go to the marketplace. Nor is it necessarily disliked unless you're always in the marketplace, not enjoying the good, not forbidding the evil, flirting, and he said lollygagging. As far as we're going to buy some ink pens, I want to buy myself a new what? Tea set. I know where to go, 2 or 3 stores I'm going to go to, and then that's it. Class, I'm out. I'm not sitting around there just chilling in the marketplace. This one walks by, this one says this one is watching this on the TV, he's listening to that. La 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 la. It's a difference between two. Being objective and having an agenda. We're going to buy this. I'm with my wife, I'm with my children, so on and so forth. La bas. And even if you go to look around in the shop, that's fine as well, as long as you're not just what? Being idle and nothing. So it's permissible to go to the marketplace for a leader, for a scholar. And sometimes it's good for a leader or an influential person to go to the marketplace. People can ask him a question. He can remind them of Allah. He teaches them the sunnah. He gives salams. He gives blessings. He is nice and kind to the Muslims. Nah? And it shows humility. Just imagine if the ruler went to the marketplace and says, I'll take a pound of those peaches over there and some plums and grapes from a humble fruit merchant. That's going to make him what? Feel good. You have real good produce, alhamdulillah, jazakallah khairan. And he goes there, wahakadha. There's nothing wrong with that. Tayyib. The hadith also shows us the permissibility for a man to buy something which is haram upon him, but lawful for others. The permissibility of buying or selling something which is haram for you, but halal for others. And what we mean by this in the circle of Islam and the Sharia. We're not talking about pork. We're not talking about alcohol. That's a different discussion. That's a different what? Others, they may say it's permissible for kuffar, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about things in the Sharia, such as gold. I can buy gold. Men are not allowed to wear solid gold. Everyone understand this? Men are not allowed to wear pure silk. Silk blend, perhaps. Gold plated, perhaps. Flash gold, gold colored, tinted, perhaps, but not solid gold. It's haram upon a man. But a man can be a gold merchant. He can be a goldsmith. He can be a ring maker. He can sell gold to women. Everybody understand this? He can buy it for someone, and he's not what? Using it. But you can't use it. You're not allowed to use it. The ulama of Islam, they say it's haram to lay upon a silk cover. To lay upon a silk cushion or carpet or anything, rug, whatever is, not a silk rug, but a throw down, whatever it is, a handkerchief. You can't put your face on it and say, you can't use silk at all, pure silk. It has to be a blend. According to those ulama hold the view, that it's permissible to have a blend of silk. But it's permissible for me to buy pure silk and buy it for my wife. A nightgown, some socks, whatever the case may be. Everyone clear on this or not? Tayyib. This hadith also shows us the recommendation of looking good and looking professional when it comes to meeting influential and impactful people. And this hadith also shows us and it teaches us one of the principles of politics and political science. And that is, people oftentimes will treat you in a way or manner according to how you treat yourself and how you present yourself. You present yourself as being professional. Or some people, you may present yourself as being knowledgeable or royal or wealthy. Oftentimes, that's how what? People will treat you. Just because of how you're dressed. And the opposite will be the what? Unfortunately, even if that's not the case. So appearance is important in al-Islam. Appearance and attire is important in Islam. Not everything, but it is important. And those who say that it has no importance and they abuse the rule, don't judge a book by its cover, absolutely, they're not reading the full text of the deen, let alone common sense. Appearance is important. Everyone understand this? You know, you go to a rest stop. You see Starbucks, right? You may see a couple other stores. And oftentimes you see what? Nathan's hot dogs. You know how long Nathan's hot dogs have been around? Maybe 100 years in the United States. In which they've been selling franks and French fries, root beer. Over 100 years maybe. Very long, rich history with regards to German immigrants to the United States. Polish immigrants in the United States. And where the hot dog comes from, or the frankfurter, or the sausage. And in the early 20th century, the early 1900s, there was, when the hot dogs and these things, they gained popularity in America. Relish and mustard, sauerkraut, things like this. So there were other companies that made hot dogs and frankfurters. So there was major competition. And obviously when there's competition, there's going to be publicity wars and propaganda wars. Who has the best hot dog? Whose is cheaper? Who tastes the best? Who has the best quality? They make their stuff from dog meat. Ours is made from this. So on and so on and so on and so forth. So they say that Nathan's Hot Dogs, the owner at the time, when the franchise was, picking up, gaining momentum, he was under heavy pressure by his competition. They were having better hot dogs or a cheaper price or whatever the case may be. So he had to think about a strategy to win over more customers and to solidify the loyalty of those customers. So he made a promotion. And that promotion was all doctors, nurses, and physicians can eat for free at his hot dog carts. You don't have to pay anything as long as you're a doctor, you work in a hospital in the medical field. With the condition that you come wearing your white coat and your white clothes. And that way, when people walk by and pass by, they see doctors who are considered to be in the elite echelon of society, even to this day. Now, you have to be a doctor when you grow up. No matter how much money you can make doing this or that, no, doctor. Everyone wants to be a doctor. So he wanted people to walk by and see the doctors, the educated, the refined, the cultivated, the wealthy, the smart, the intelligent, eating his food and wearing what? White, the sign of purity and cleanliness and hygiene. And obviously, how many other hot dog companies do you find to this day when you go to the road stop? But you always see what? Nathan's. He survived because he knew the importance of what? Appearance. Everyone understands? This is a worldly example of the common sense that goes into how you look and what people see, how you conduct and hold yourself just off of what you're wearing. What if they weren't even doctors? What if they were imposters? But the trick, what? It worked. That's the human being. People say, well, I'm not worried about appearances or how a person looks. That's not true. It's not sahih. It doesn't matter to me what food tastes like. Humans shouldn't worry about, they shouldn't concern themselves with the food. Allah created you with taste buds. For what? For reason. And He gave you an eye with an intricate, detailed system of observing and retaining. For what? For a purpose. The next benefit we take from this hadith is the severe threat of wearing pure silk upon men. It's from the major sins. One may say it's from the what? The major sins. And if it's not from the major sins, for sure it is haram. This hadith also teaches us the permissibility of asking a question and the permissibility of going back with your teacher, as long as your teacher allows that. And there's nothing wrong with al-istifsar, with istidah, asking and double checking with the proper etiquette. And many of us don't have this proper etiquette. We may ask a question or check something and then come off challenging. And a person may not be. But if you're coming off like that and the person is insecure, or even not, if I feel the slightest amount of disrespect, I'm not going to answer your question. I don't want to answer your question. Who are you to challenge and disrespect me? You never studied anywhere. This may be in the mind of someone, so you have to be mindful of how you ask a question and how you find something to be problematic. Also, this hadith, it goes to show us the virtue of the Prophet ﷺ and his beautiful character and how kind he was. And this hadith shows us the virtue of Umar ibn al-Khattab. It shows us that Umar was virtuous. He had fiqh, he had knowledge, he wasn't shy. He asked the Prophet ﷺ, and the Prophet ﷺ cared for him, and he sent him the gift. And it shows us the permissibility of sending someone a gift that may not be absolutely halal. It may be halal from instance to instance. It's permissible to give to your wife. It's permissible to sell, but you can't use it. Are we understanding this or not? And it also goes to show us, last but not least, it goes to show us that we should be considerate of people's feelings to the best of our ability. We should be considerate of people's feelings. As if Umar radiallahu anhu was hurt or offended that the Prophet didn't take the silk garment from him. And the Prophet, he made an excuse and he explained to him, and then he did what? He never accepted it. He sent him some silk. I understand this? Take this. Labas. You understand this? Very important concept of leadership. And not to allow people to be offended or hurt if you can avoid it. If you what? If you can avoid it. And that's why a wise man once said, one of the greatest skills that a leader has to learn and must learn is how not to say no. How not to say no. Sabaqaka biha or kasha. The man asked, he says, oh, Messenger of Allah, ask Allah to make me from those people. He said, he never told him, no, you're not from them. He said, what? Oh, kasha beat you to the punch. Khalas, it's done. It was a one-time deal. Everyone understand this? How not to say what? How not to say no. Even if you're telling someone no, but to say it in a way in which you what? Gently. You let them down what? Gently. As far as something against Allah and His Messenger, clearly haram, that's a different story. But even then, you can still use what? Hikmah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.